just go ahead and give it a little support. See this thing right here? Get that little support that I need to. Alright guys, as you can see in the title of the thumbnail, I'm going to show you how you can get more horsepower to your car. Or rather, optimize the horsepower that you already have in your vehicle. So basically what I want to talk to you guys about is oil in your intercooler. Are you supposed to have oil in your intercooler? Is it normal to have oil in your intercooler? Were you surprised for the first time when you replaced the intercooler and you noticed there was tons of oil in your intercooler? Is oil in your intercooler dangerous to your car? So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. I'm also going to do a detailed walkthrough step-by-step of how you actually get to the intercooler piping and how you check it. That's going to be later on in the video, so make sure you see that. After I just give you the general information, I'm going to do a physical walkthrough of how you actually can check for the oil. So just keep that in mind. Just to let everyone know, when you're dealing with a boosted turbo engine, what happens is you have the oil that goes through the turbo, you have what you call blow-by from the engine, you have your PCV valve that regulates the crankcase pressure. So generally over time, you do get a little bit of residual oil in your intercooler, but it's more of like a filmy substance through your piping. And as your turbos start to wear over time, just from general wear and tear, the bearings and the seals and everything just starts to wear out. I'm not saying when it wears out your car isn't good anymore. It's just wear and tear, just like with anything else in life. So then you're gonna have more chances of oil making it through that turbo, getting routed back through that crankcase pressure, getting into your intercooler. In addition, with really heavily boosted engines, you just optimize everything that can possibly go wrong with your car. It's just one of those things in life. The more luxury, the more pain, if you understand what I'm saying. So just kind of getting back to the point, what happens is over time, that oil gets really filmy and sticky and it collects dirt. You know, you have your air intakes on, but at the same time, if you ever took off your air intake cone, you still notice you still get a little bit of debris in your engine. So just imagine the debris being put on oil. It's kind of like putting tar and feathering a chicken. You get what I'm saying? So what you want to do is you want to take out your intercooler piping and check it for any oil. Let's say every time you do your oil change, you want to just check it to see if you have any residual oil. Give it a nice little clean to prevent it from, you know, backing up or clogging up or having too much oil in your vehicle. And there's been times to where there's been people who literally drained a quart of oil from their intercooler. So I challenge you to check your intercooler to see how you're doing. This is something you can do really easy with a flathead screwdriver. All you have to do is get by that fog light or that grill insert, pluck it, pull it off, and you can just look inside that piping to see if you have any oil. It's okay that you have, it's okay to be kind of a filmy residue, but you want to make sure it's not caked up or it's not building up a lot of oil, because in that case, you definitely want to drain or siphon the intercooler to get any of that extra oil out of there, and try your best to give that intercooler clean as much as you possibly can to keep your consistent airflow going. In doing this, you can just really ensure the longevity of your vehicle. You can also at the same time make sure that you're optimizing all of your power, because, you know, an intercooler's job is to take that air, make it dense, break it down, and throw it into the engine as cool and as dense as possible. And with anything blocking that or preventing from doing that, that's just less performance from you. So when I say more horsepower, I'm saying, you know, you could not be using the horsepower that you are supposed to have. So with that being said, this will get you the optimal horsepower that you need. So yeah, guys, check those intercoolers for oil, and I can guarantee this is gonna keep your cars running good and long for a while. The tools that you're gonna need to make this happen is you're gonna need this. I definitely recommend you buy this. It's like $9 or $10 for like a 6-pack of different sizes, and it prevents you from scratching your paint, this is such a cheap item that can come in handy, not even just for this, for other things that you need to pry off. So yeah, that's that. All right, then we got a screwdriver. So these are gonna be the only two things that you're gonna need in order to check to see if your intercooler has oil in it. So as you can see, I have this mesh grill right here. Some people may have fog lights. Regardless if you have a fog light or a mesh grill, this would be the best way that you can check, or otherwise you would have to go under your car, taking out the liner and check from the bottom of your car. So those are the two options. You can go from right here, or you can go from under your car. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off so you guys can see how you can check if your intercooler has oil. So just go ahead and give it a little support. See this thing right here? Get that little support that I need to get in there so I won't break it. There you go. All right. As you can see, it's all in one piece, didn't break anything. So that's it. So I ripped that off. As you guys can see, this is going to be my intercooler piping right here. So as you guys can see, that's going to be my intercooler piping right there. Only thing I got to do, get this screwdriver or whatever clamp you have. I'm just going to unloosen it. Just loosen it enough to where you can just take it off. Just like that. If that's loose enough, it's about time for maintenance for me. You know, I'm gonna stay straight tuned with KO4, so I'm just curious how much oil I have. I know I should have some oil in here, but it's always curious to see how much I have. Pretty much it. All right, so as you guys can see, I now have the clamp out, and we're gonna take a look inside my car to see how much oil I have. As you can see, I got a little residue right there. Little residue, not too bad. Like I said, something like this would be normal wear on the engine, but you really wanna just make sure that if you open this and you're caked up with oil, or you have oil dripping out of your intercooler, then that's how you know it's time to give it a maintenance, a clean, or siphon it. You can even use those little camera light tools to stick it in there just to see if you have a lot of oil. I like to get a rag and just kind of go in there just to see how much oil I have. So I'm gonna do that in 1 second. A little paper towel, and I'm just gonna stick it in there and just see what I'm working with. Like I said, I'm just kind of sticking it in there to see. So as you can see, I'm in pretty good shape. Just a little bit of oil residue. This is gonna be normal for any car. That's just pretty much the residue I was talking about. But you have some individuals who actually will have just oil caked up right here. Always good every time you change your oil to just check to make sure you don't have any excess oil coming out of your intercooler pipe. And as you can see, I do have this tube, and it's kind of dirty and faded, only because I have the mesh grill and the weather gets to it. Used to be a nice silicone color, but this also helps with the airflow as well versus the traditional one. So I'll leave a link for the plastic tool as well as this tubing that just kind of helps with overall airflow. And you know, like I said in the title, it says more horsepower. You know, and when I say more horsepower, I mean horsepower you being deprived of. But this right here does give you more airflow. Not something substantial, just a little bit. You know, probably a few horsepower here or there. But hey, anything is better than nothing. If every raindrop eventually makes a puddle. And you know, like I said, if you have intercooler that's caked up with oil, sludge, it's gonna prevent that airflow, and it's not gonna get you horsepower. So that's what this video is all about. I'm just trying to help you guys out, some of the things that you may overlook in your vehicle, and also at the same time, some of the things that can allow you to keep your vehicle for a long time without having any engine issues. All right, so thanks guys. Bruce Custom Motors, I'm out.